Seriously, this is one of the most top-rated anime series today.
この気性のいい蛇が
JUJUTSU Kaisen is one of the biggest anime series over the last few years. It absolutely blew up when the anime came out in 2020, and ever since then, it is everywhere. Known for its insane animation and its brutal fight scenes, JUJUTSU Kaisen has laid claim to being one of the biggest anime series today. And you can bet your butts I was watching the first season when it first came out. Watching it on a weekly basis, I was drawn in by the story of Yuji and Sukuna. And there are many fans that say that JUJUTSU Kaisen is peak, while there are others that believe that it is incredibly overrated. And believe it or not, I'm actually more inclined towards that argument. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a fan of JUJUTSU Kaisen. When season 1 concluded in 2021, that's when I stopped watching and I just left it as is. But then the movie was released, along with season 2 a few years later. Anime fans around the world became fixated on these characters, and in particularly Gojo. But with that, I'll get more into my gripes with him later on in the video. For many years, I was just stuck on JUJUTSU Kaisen season 1. I never felt drawn to actually give the movie a shot, let alone season 2. But with my journey back into the mainstream field of anime, I had to give it a shot. Another anime I dropped after season 1 was Demon Slayer, but I'll get back to that another time. But then I decided I'm gonna go balls to the wall and jump straight into the movie, and then jump onto season 2 immediately after. And I must say, the JUJUTSU Kaisen movie is a top tier anime film. I absolutely love it. The fact that it's focused more on the side characters, along with a new character who seemingly is going to play a huge role later on in the series, Yuta, and along with getting into the friendship of Gojo and Geto. After watching the movie, I was extremely hyped. I couldn't wait for season 2. And when I finally got around to season 2, the first few episodes had me hooked. Delving more into the story of Gojo and Geto and their ideologies, with Gojo taking the approach of wanting everyone to learn sorcery. And then you get Geto, who just wants to slaughter all the non-sorcerers. All the normies, if you'd like to say. And that whole story that went on with that young girl, with her despite living life as a teenager, she is still accepting of her fate. Of having to fuse with another dude and become one with him, which was kind of freaky if you ask me. But when she had that talk with Geto, and she finally opened up and told him that she wants to live, and then she ends up dying, that should have been a sign of things to come. Because from there, the whole of season 2 just went entirely downhill. And then we get to the Shibuya incident. On paper, with such a story, it should be gripping with every episode's release. But I found myself just thinking to myself, when the hell is this going to end? Because a lot of the characters just end up dying left, right and center. Aside from 1 or 2, a lot of the characters that died in the Shibuya incident weren't even characters that we care about. I mean, the show hasn't even given me a reason to care about Nobara. They're only the second season into the show and they kill off one of the main characters. That's like Nami or Sanji dying shortly after they joined the Straw Hat crew. And before her death, very little was given about her that makes you actually want to care about her and root for her. And that is where one of my main problems of JUJUTSU Kaisen comes from. They focus way too much on the fight scenes and the choreography and it looking good, instead of fleshing out their characters and giving you something to root for. The dynamic between Yuji and Sukuna, very interesting, especially at the end of the Shibuya incident when he's coming to grips with him actually killing a lot of people. And I can't hate on Yuji too much because he's written in a way he's meant to be your generic anime protagonist. But then I get to someone like Megumi, whose only interesting thing about him is his father Toji. And remember, Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara are the 3 main characters of the show. With Yuji being your anime protag, the other 2 don't hold up. They're given very little substance to make you actually care. And I am somewhat disappointed because a lot of people were hyping up JUJUTSU Kaisen like it is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But the more you watch it, the more you realize it is just instant gratification in anime form. And the Shibuya incident especially is very guilty of this. They give you fight scene after fight scene after fight scene with characters you barely care about. So you guys are telling me that you actually care about that volcano-headed dude? The only death I actually felt something for was the death of Nanami. He was my favorite character from season 1. That whole overtime shtick he had going on, that was really compelling. And the complaints I had about Gojo still stand. He is still a Mary Sue character. Written to be incredibly powerful that he just stops caring and then he just goes through life carefree. People only hype him up for his order farming moments and his cool looking eyes. It just felt like the author had somewhere he wanted to go with the story of Yuji and Sukuna, but in order to get there, he just rushed everything else. Sometimes things are rushed even during the fight scenes itself. Expositions are dropped without you even realizing what the hell is going on, and major plot developments just happen back to back right after one another. Oh, Gojo gets captured. Oh my god, what are they gonna do? Shibuya incident happens. Oh my god, how are these guys gonna overcome it? Nanami dies. Oh my god, the tragic. Nobara dies. Oh, what the? I really cared for her. Where were we again? I mean, don't you guys see how ridiculous that is? Oh, sorry. Y'all about to become aware of how trash the storytelling is? Let me throw a good fight scene in there just to distract you guys. Ooh, instant gratification, I love it. Only the brain dead folk would fall for that. It really feels like the series values that shock factor over a satisfying payoff. And let me not get started on the main villain of the Shibuya incident. That King Jaku piece of work? How are we supposed to care about him? This dude shows up out of nowhere in Geto's body and we're just supposed to care. His greatest feat was him actually being able to capture Gojo. Y'all spent an entire movie and the first half building up the relationship of Gojo and Geto, and what do y'all do? Y'all replace him with Krang from the Ninja Turtles. Maybe they should just bring Shredder into the show, I'm sure that will save it. I had 3 favorite characters from season 1. There was Nanami, there was the Panda Dude, and Todo. But as the series progresses, the one dies and the other 2 takes a backseat. I'm heavily contemplating if I should even start watching season 3, because season 2 was so off-putting and it turned me off to the entire series. It felt like to me that Jujutsu Kaisen started off with so much potential, and with the dedicated fanbase that it had, you would assume it would be the greatest thing ever. Because I don't care how good animation is. I don't care about the flashy fight scenes. Heck, I don't even care about the world building. All I want is for them to have a reason for fighting and not just soulless battles one after the other. With Ace's death at Marineford, would it still hit the same if y'all never had any interactions with him prior? Aside from a couple of one-shots here and there, y'all wouldn't care. And with Vegeta blowing himself up against Majin Buu, would you guys care if he never had that journey of him going from a ruthless killer to a family man? No, that is the point I'm trying to make. You can't just have all of these deaths and then barely anything that led up to it. It's just a waste of character potential if you ask me. Oh, but the fight scenes look amazing. Oh, this is the greatest anime series of all time. Yeah, to hell it is. I am so fearful, man. I'm so fearful. I don't even want to start watching Demon Slayer. Please tell me Demon Slayer is better than this Jujutsu trash. But hey, I'm just so glad I started off my modern day anime journey with Dan Da Dan. But like I said at the beginning of this video, if you like Jujutsu Kaisen, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There is many trash anime out there that I like as well. Has anybody watched When They Cry, Higurashi? I should do a video about that one day. And by the way, this is just one man's opinion on the internet. Just don't get your panties in a knot. But at the end of the day, no matter how much I roasted, which I probably will be doing in the future again, whether I like it or not, Jujutsu Kaisen has made an impact on the anime scene. And there's a lot of reasons why people like it, even though it's just mainly instant gratification and a whole lot of slop. But yes, you guys can expect another video like this with regards to Demon Slayer real soon. I'll be jumping onto that next. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be sure to be back with another video real soon. Peace.
These nuts.